Howdy, welcome to the Takeout, the movie edition of the lunch table. That's right, it's that time again. Drew, can you believe it?
I sure cinema can.
You tried. You attempted. We'll give you that. You attempted.
I had special effects for that last time.
Special what?
I don't know.
What? Dude, I have no idea where you're going with that bit. But
it's like auto-tune for videos.
Buckle in, get ready. We're gonna hurry up and jump into this so we can tell you what movie we picked. I guess let me introduce who's around the table real quick. As always, we have Drew.
Yay.
My right-hand man, the co-host, as he said on the last episode he would like to be called.
Yeah, I've been here longer than everybody else, except for you, so that makes me co-host.
No.
Dick.
It just makes you a loyal fan. And also, your real host tonight. Me, Carl.
You can be host. I'll be co-host.
Yeah, but I feel like that's like the same thing because you're co.
No, you are the host.
Yeah, but like you don't have a co-manager.
Okay.
You know?
We'll see how you manage when I stop doing everything.
Oh, damn. Okay. All right. Let's get into this. Howdy. Welcome to the Takeout, the movie edition of the lunch table. So, Drew, you want to tell the people what number we rolled?
72, I believe.
It was. Yes, you were.
72. Now, very, very close to the last couple that we've had. Our last one, I believe, was like 54.
It wasn't. It was a 74. Or 60.
No, I think this last one was a 54, and then the one before that was a 74. So we're still in the realm of okay movies. 3 out of 4 people, respectively, think that this is a good movie.
Right. And anyone who forgot, once again, the way we pick our movies, we roll a D100. However,
because we're nerds.
Because we're nerds, and we wanted a reason to buy a D100. And then we take those numbers and basically use whatever we rolled to a 1 out of 10 score of movies.
Yep, take whatever number would roll on a D100 and divide it by 10.
Boom.
So if you get 100, then that equates into a 10. If you get a 50, that equates into a 5.0.
Right, and then we use that score to pick movies that have that rating.
Right. IMDb, we sort by which one, then we pick which one we like out of that rating.
Now, off of this 7.2, because that's what 72 turned into.
Yeah.
What was your favorite movie on the list?
Ooh, there was a lot of old ones. The old Django really rang a bell to me.
That was a great one. Yeah.
The
new Suicide Squad was on there.
Yeah, the one with Peacemaker.
Yep. John Cena, who, like I said, when he was wrestling, didn't like him, but somehow as an actor, he kills it.
Right.
Everything I see him in, I find good.
There was 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yep.
Not a great movie. I don't understand a 72 on that, but...
A Bug's Life was in there.
Yeah, okay, that was a good movie.
Fox and the Hound.
We actually had a small discussion while we were trying to pick a movie to where neither of us have seen The Fox and the Hound in like...
Oh, no. You haven't.
I haven't, I guess. I haven't seen The Fox and the Hound in like 25 years.
Damn, dude. It's a sad story.
I can't even tell you the plot of it.
Well, a fox and a hound become friends.
Awesome. So if we get a 72 again, and it's my pick, I'm going to pick Fox and the Hound probably.
But the movie it was my pick. So the movie I ended up picking this week was 1980's Caddyshack. I have only seen parts of this movie, and I know it's a cult classic. So I was like, well, might as well kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. Get to watch it and do a review about it.
See, I had the exact opposite experience of this. A few years ago, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago, I had so many different people when I was downloading movies and things like that. Shh, Don't tell anybody.
Yeah. We're pirates, but not of the sea.
Arr.
Arr.
Different people were telling me, oh, you have to download this movie, you have to download this movie, you have to watch this movie, you have to do this one.
Yeah.
Along those lines were a lot of older movies, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and
Yeah.
Gone with the Wind. And
The
so on.
classics,
So, yeah,
as they
classic
say.
ones.
The ones that really set movies apart.
And honestly, I wasn't really listening to what people had said.
Yeah.
I guess in a sense I was. I actually went back on IMDb and I went through like the 100 greatest movies of all time.
Wow. Okay.
And I was just picking through what ones people loved, and Caddyshack was on that list. And I downloaded it and I watched it. Again, this was like 4 or 5 years ago. I did not like it.
It's different.
Now, my viewpoint has changed, and we'll get more into that here in a little bit. But my first glance, and first impressions are everything, I did not like it.
I mean, for the most part, me and you try to pick older movies.
Yeah.
It just seems to fall that way. So I guess we're here to watch the older movies, so you don't have to.
Well, in a certain sense,
you still should, but
I definitely don't like older movies. I think the CGI, if there is any, is horrible, and that's something that I strive for in movies. Like,
yeah. Well,
I'm a
they
big
couldn't
fan of
help it
Star
back
Wars
then.
and, yeah.
And even Star Wars. See, that's the thing I actually like about old movies is their creativity in that way.
Right, like the 1970s Star Wars, like that was awesome. They put so much thought into it, where certain other movies of the time period just sucked.
Well, I mean, their main goal wasn't sci-fi though. Like that's all Star Wars was like special effects.
Well, I mean,
that's mainly it. If it had to survive off a story alone, it wouldn't have.
When we watched The Day the Earth Stood Still, that was supposed to be sci-fi, and it was
black and white.
I give it credit for what it was, but still, knowing what I know now and what I like now, it doesn't match the standards because it's too old.
Yeah, I mean, I think the hardest part about older movies is a lot of the the non-music. You don't have very much music in a lot of them. There's a lot of dry air. They fill up a lot of dead space with useless garbage.
Speaking of music, I want to get into this for this movie, for Caddyshack.
Well, before we get into music,
don't let me forget it then.
I won't. Before we get into music, let's go over some of the main stars in this.
Okay.
So first we have Bill Murray.
Bill Murray as Carl,
yeah.
the assistant groundskeeper.
Yep, the assistant groundskeeper. Then we have Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase.
Oh, is it Chevy?
Chevy. Chevy, but
I always
Chevy.
thought it was Chubby.
Chevy.
Well, that sucks. I
Chevy
like Chubby better.
He is a rich guy who likes to play golf. And
he's an enlightened rich man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good way to put it.
The easiest way of watching him, that's like the number one thing I kind of picked up. He was like that cool rich guy who was like, don't worry about life because I got money.
Right.
And then we also have
fucking Tate. What's his name now?
Which one?
The bald fucking asshole on TikTok now.
Oh, I don't know. I have no. Even though we're on TikTok, I showed you. I showed you how my account's like different.
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate.
That bald Romanian guy, fucking asshole.
What does he even do?
He's rich as shit and owns a whole bunch of casinos and owns I think pornos or something like that.
Oh, probably.
Dude, he is a asshole. But he's like, oh, I'm the best. Nobody can top me because I'll fuck you up.
And that kind of relates bestly to Rodney Dangerfield's character, who's also in this movie.
Yeah, there's a little difference here. Rodney Dangerfield is crazy.
No, what it is.
He's not an asshole. He's not a bad guy.
No, he's an asshole. Oh, for sure. For sure. There's a lot of shit he was doing that he knew pissed a judge off. That he purposely kept doing.
Yeah.
He was an asshole. And, dude, he would go call anyone whatever name and just hand them a bunch of money so they wouldn't say anything. He'd just shove money in everyone's pockets.
Yeah.
He was an asshole. Sure, he said funny things. Then he had a smile, but He was an asshole.
He was. I'm sorry to relate it to another movie. He's like Shooter McGavin.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm an asshole. Like, I'm gonna do what I want, and I'm rich, and I can do it.
And people laugh along because they like my money.
But apart from that one, apart from Shooter McGavin, like this guy, he's funny while he does it.
Yeah.
Where Shooter McGavin is just a dick to be a dick.
Yeah, they wrote him as a bad character where like no one would like him. Where they made Dangerfield there because he's funny.
Yeah.
He brought more charisma, but he's still an asshole.
Yeah.
He just made you laugh, but he's still an asshole. And then for some reason, there's also another guy that they like because those three names popped up right at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll just get into the review right now anyways.
Well, it's been 42 years since the movie came out.
Yeah.
And the only people that had any kind of breakout were those three people.
Who were famous before. There were already comedians.
Yeah, they were kind of famous, but like Bill Murray became big in part because of Caddyshack. Chevy Chase became big in part because of Caddyshack.
Well, he also did the vacation movies. I don't know if those were before and after, but he's a real big part of that
I think Vacation 1 was before this, and then the other ones were after.
Okay, so, but like with all their names, another name popped up. I'm not sure if you noticed right before. So basically, as it starts out, it's showing you a beautiful golf course and whatnot.
Right.
And those names pop up: Bill Murray, Chevy Chase, and then Rodney Dangerfield. And right at the end, Ted Knight pops up. Ted Knight, and I don't know who that is.
Look him up.
Look him up. But so
it's probably Danny.
I'm thinking Danny.
I'm betting Danny.
I'm thinking here. You can look it up. But so let's get into it. Anyways, it starts out. There's a scene of everybody, showing a beautiful golf course, and then it really focuses in on a groundhog. That's our first character we meet is a groundhog.
Ted Knight is not Danny. He is Judge.
He is the judge. Okay.
And we'll get into that more.
But it focuses on the groundhog, which I'm going to call is the main start of our B plot.
Michael O'Keefe.
There's several plots going on in this story, so it's kind of hard to keep up. Several stories.
Yeah, there's three big ones.
But this is probably, I would say, this isn't the main one, but it is actually focused on throughout the whole movie, which is the groundhog. Chasing that groundhog. Yeah. So he is the first character you see.
Gopher. It is a gopher.
Oh, gopher.
I don't know what the difference between a groundhog and a gopher is, though.
Me neither.
You had to do this for a living.
No, I told you. You keep thinking I killed animals. I did not. I killed bugs. Insects. You think I just killed any critter?
Hey, when I have a mouse problem, I call you, and it seemed to work.
Are mice gophers?
No, but they're an animal. They're definitely more. They're more like a gopher than they are an insect.
Go talk to Pennsylvania State Board about why I can't kill the gopher, but I can kill the mice.
I should have went and asked Sparky because he was whatever in Atlanta.
He was also a trapper though.
Yeah,
like they didn't have as many restrictions. It didn't seem like. I don't know. That's whole off topic though. So first it shows us the gopher. Then the music picks back up. Then we end up seeing a mother walking around in her, a muumuu, a nightgown, waking all these kids up in this house. Dude, there had to be like 50 kids she's waking up in this house.
The main difference between a gopher and a groundhog is that a gopher is smaller and lighter, whereas groundhog is larger and heavier.
Okay.
That's it.
So size.
That's like the difference between a mouse and a rat.
Yeah. Yeah, size. But like I said, after the intro, we get to the family.
Danny's family.
Well, just wait. Hold your horses there. Okay. She's waking everybody up, and then we see this boy that it kind of focuses on with his music. That happens to be Danny. Danny is going to be kind of our main character through this whole shebang.
Yeah.
I would say out of everybody, he's probably the main character. you instantly notice at the beginning that Danny's dad is getting on him about college and saving up for college. Danny already talks about having a job, and that's where you find out that he's a caddy.
Right.
His dad basically says, you can't be a caddy forever, son. Go work at the lumber yard.
Yeah.
Then the music picks up, and then it keeps continuing on with the intro, almost like just to give you those two quick backgrounds to fill you in, like, hey, these guys are going to be important. As Danny rides his bike to work, he's passing all these beautiful homes, yada yada. Finally, he gets to his job. That's where we meet our second character. Well, technically our third, if you count the gopher. Our third character, which is Chevy Chase.
Fucking gopher. Ty Webb.
Ty Webb. When did they say his name? That's one thing I do. Another thing in this, they rarely say characters' names. They say them like once.
They say their occupation more than
their names.
Than their name.
Right. And this is where Danny's walking around with them. Ty doesn't know his name. Keeps messing it up. But as they're walking, he's filling them with all this information about not going to college and basically golf. You should just golf.
Yeah.
Although we really get no indication that Danny can golf. We just know that he's a caddy. After that, it starts introducing all kinds of characters as it sweeps through. First, we meet the judge. I think the judge is yelling about something about the landscape or seeing a gopher.
Right.
And then we meet the groundskeeper, who's Scottish. Which I thought was hilarious. I was like, out of all the things you could pick, you pick a Scottish. And they played into the type, too. They made him wear a hat and all that.
Looks like groundskeeper Willie.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
That's what I thought of, yeah. Yeah.
I didn't make that connection.
And then after telling the groundskeeper to basically get the gopher, we meet Bill Murray. Carl. He plays Carl. Me. He plays me, basically. But he's a groundskeeper assistant who's quite the idiot. Lovable idiot.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where does the movie go after this? After it introduces everybody, and it shows kind of the rest of the team, everybody who's involved in the caddies and everything, and then gets to the point where
Danny finds out that there's a scholarship that he can get that will help him to get to college.
Well, Danny already thought that he lost the scholarship.
Right.
And then something happens where the kid drops out. Here, the scholarship's back up. So, boom.
He died.
Oh, that's right. He choked on his own puke.
At Sunday school.
And all the kids laughed. So, he gets a chance once again to actually try out for the scholarship. Well, the last kid that got it was an ass kiss, so he figures
brown noser, yeah.
Best way for me to do it is that. Instantly, you hear his boss calling out names for all the caddies to take. You hear him take, he's like, oh, this guy? No one likes working with him. I'll take him.
The judge.
That happens to be our judge, right?
Well, the judge is like the second in command at the country club, and he decides who gets the scholarship and who does not. So he decides, if I'm going to brown nose anybody and nobody wants to work with him, I'll work with him, funny enough.
Boom. Well, then it gets to them golfing together.
And
a really hot girl.
And
with their titties out.
What? Mountain of Coke himself.
Oh, Ronnie Dangerfield does stop in. Now, the one thing you do get early on is Rodney, because he comes in acting like he owns the place and just paying everyone money, and you can tell he has the most money there. The judge hates him. Yeah. Absolutely fucking hates him.
Well, funny enough, his name is Al Cervic, and Cervic Construction is what drove the groundhog
that they think
into
right
because they're working on something. They drove the groundhog into the golf course.
Into the golf
course. Gopher. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, dude. Come on, the gopher. Yeah, drove the gopher into said place. So, he kind of blames him, but he's also mad because he has just a bigger wallet. You can tell. He's not the big guy on campus no more. He's a little jealous of that. Honestly, so after they start playing, the kid basically starts schmoozing his way in, finds out, okay, the judge doesn't mind this kid. He ends up inviting him, right? After that play, doesn't he invite him to some dinner?
Yeah.
It's like a dinner or something.
No. The girlfriend invites Danny to the dinner so that he can make more money.
Oh.
Like bussing tables.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we're not at that part yet. You're right. So as they're golfing, they basically stop halfway to get snacks. That's where you meet that Danny is hooking up with some girl. Now, they never say that they're girlfriend and boyfriend or anything because later on he sleeps with another girl and it doesn't seem to be a fucking issue.
What the fuck? We're not at that part yet either.
I know, but it's so weird. I don't understand the relationships of anybody in here because...
Dude, it's like Fastmont or Ridgemont High. Like, everybody just has sex.
Yeah, they're just like fucking... Everybody's fucking one another and not dating anybody.
I mean, you got to figure that this is 1980. That was only a year away from the 70s. Free love.
Oh, dude, and even weirder than that, there's a lot of people talking about younger children weirdly in this. We'll get to that. That really threw me off in this. But so you see that Danny has a girlfriend and she's Irish or something. I don't know. She has an accent. Really can't tell out what it is. It kind of changes throughout the whole thing. But you find out he has a girlfriend, yada, yada, yada. They end up getting done golfing. After they're done golfing, Danny goes and he starts working, basically bussing, working with his girlfriend. Right? When that happens, he gets caught staring at some tits and some other things ensue. You know, Rodney Dangerfield goes in there, he starts farting and acting like an a-hole. Just throwing money around.
My favorite line Rodney Dangerfield says at that dinner, and you caught up on it too, is, the last time I saw a mouth like that, it had a hook in it.
Yeah, it had a hook in it.
While we were watching this, he looks at me and goes, did he just call her a fish?
Right. Like, is that an insult or not? I don't know. I don't know. So as that goes on, it goes back to our gopher. So at this point, I think it shows some side cuts of our gopher going on. And you notice that Bill Murray there, Carl, he's a little crazy. First thing he tries to do is flush it out with a hose.
He tries to catch it with his hands first.
Yeah.
And then he tries to flush it out with the hose.
And when he goes to do that, it says all the sprinklers off and the water's just shooting out of every hole. Like, it's all connected, right? Like, the whole inner ground's connected.
And then he tries to shoot it with a gun. He's sitting there Vietnam style.
Yeah. Well, it stops. So it shows us that little bit, then it stops, and we get back to our main story.
Right.
Where, once again, Danny is still trying to get this scholarship. Right? So after the dinner, where do they go after that dinner?
Danny needs to win the Caddy Cup.
Oh, okay, yeah. At the dinner, the judge basically says, like, hey, if you want the scholarship,
you got to win.
This would look really, really good on your resume.
Right.
Also, I think this happens while they're golfing, too. They have another golfing session, and the judge ends up hitting the ball, or throwing his club. Remember, he gets real pissed and throws his club.
That was before the dinner, at how it finishes the golfing thing. But Rodney Dangerfield's character, Al, is like just continually pissing off the judge. Throwing him off his game, making him do bad things, making him cheat. Danny catches him cheating.
Oh, yeah, and betting him big money during, like, he's going to putt, and he's like, $1,000, you won't make that.
Well, you can't gamble here because it's illegal.
All right. That's why, like I said, Rodney's an asshole, just breaking rules because he has money. So, we get to the caddy shoot-off.
Caddy Cup.
Caddy Cup. And they actually do a real good job of just kind of showing little clips of it, but breezing kind of through it, so it doesn't take up much time.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice, but they kind of glance over it. It's nothing that they focus on hard. He ends up, of course, Danny ends up winning.
Yeah.
After he wins, he goes and he lays his girlfriend.
Evidently, you can find out that Danny can play golf.
Right. You find out that he's very good.
Decent.
Good enough to win.
Yeah.
He wins in every situation we watch him play golf.
Yeah.
So he's nothing but a winner. He has to be pretty fucking good. So after Danny goes ahead and he gets his rocks off, Is this the
swim day?
Yep, I was gonna say this is when swim day finally happens. Now, for some reason, after this point, the movie actually kind of stops pushing the plot along in any which way. Even between the judge and Dangerfield, that's one storyline. Another storyline is Danny chasing after a scholarship. Then you have the gopher. All those kind of just stop.
Well,
it kind of stops pushing the storyline along.
Funny enough, one of the things that I do know about this movie is that when they were producing it, it didn't have any groundhog in it. Didn't have any gopher, any part of the story.
Oh, dang.
That's why, like, the gopher doesn't really tie into anything until almost the end.
No one else ever sees this fucking gopher.
Yeah. Well, the judge at the beginning.
Right at the beginning.
Yeah, but that's all done after. So they actually needed to lengthen the movie.
Yeah.
And they added all these gopher scenes.
Okay. That makes sense because it does not intertwine with one another. But the pool scene, a wonderful, fun scene where basically you get to watch all the kids go crazy. There's a random topless girl. Just a bunch of shenanigans happen. Just a crazy bit of shenanigans. And we'll get into that later once we go over some of our favorite parts and stuff in the movie. But then after the pool scene and everything's all settled, I think this is where we go to Chase's house, right? Tom's house.
The yacht club.
Oh, we go. Okay, so this is where he gets invited to the yacht club.
Yeah.
End up going to the yacht club. Of course, Danny dresses up real nice, looks good, makes a great impression.
Right.
Basically ends up getting the scholarship already, and it's not even halfway through the movie. And they basically says he has it. You noticed early that the judge has a niece who's kind of loose.
She's from Manhattan.
Manhattan. Very beautiful looking girl. Danny and everybody, every time she walks by, just can't take their eyes off of her. Well, after that little shebang, right, as they're going to the boating club, the kids were all smoking pot before.
Right.
She was in that group smoking with them.
Right.
Right? Danny gets there. They're all making fun of him because of his clothes. After he makes a good impression, she comes back up to him and asks, would you like to get high? Some other kids there, he says, yo, I don't have enough pot for all three of us. She kicks them out. They end up hooking up. As they're hooking up, of course, the judge finds out in their bed. All of a sudden, he loses the scholarship.
Yeah.
You know, he basically thinks he's done. He's dead. Whatever. He wakes up the next day in the locker room of the Caddyshack, meets this Irish girl he was been banging, the one that we knew earlier in the movie. All of a sudden, she's telling him she's late. He thinks he's going to be a dad.
Before that is the part with the old man and the best game of his life.
Oh, yeah.
And the lightning. And Carl is his caddy. Just by happenstance. This has nothing to do with the story.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Now, like I said, there's a bunch of parts in here right now that actually don't push the story along at all. Even Danny getting caught sleeping with the niece, right?
Yeah.
At the very next day, he talks to the judge, and the judge forgives him and still gives him the scholarship. And then somehow, near the end of the movie, how we're wrapping it up, it has nothing to do with Danny and a scholarship. It has everything to do with the bet between the four fucking main names, basically. Right?
Even the part about his girlfriend potentially being pregnant.
Yeah.
Like, 5 minutes later, she's running around the golf course, go, ah, I'm not pregnant.
Yeah, I'm not pregnant now.
Like, what the fuck?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, it just stops pushing the storyline along, fills it with a bunch of random shit. Even the part where Ty meets Carl in his home.
Yeah.
Fuck, way too long of a scene that's fucking awkward. Way too long of a scene. Around this part, it shows back to the gopher. I mean, I think once or twice it already did. Like Drew said, at one point, he's getting a gun ready. He's trying to kill this gopher. You know, he ends up obviously missing and not hitting it. Then you see him keep talking to himself, and you see Carl. He's making animals out of C4.
Yeah.
He's like rabbits and stuff, just talking to himself about how you got to become the gopher to kill the gopher. Just a bunch of crazy shenanigans, right? Just crazy bullshit he says out of his fucking mouth. It's hilarious.
It kills people, Carl.
It kills people. Then it goes back to the bet. So, basically, Chevy throughout this whole movie, Ty there, he's really good at golf, but he never golfs for money or in any tournaments.
Yeah, he stays away from everything.
He just kind of keeps it all away. Everybody kind of knows that he's an ace, even though he doesn't really do anything. And he's rich, but they never say how.
Yeah. He has checks for $70,000 just chilling.
Yeah, just chilling at his place.
Which in 1980 was a lot.
Yeah, a lot. So, somehow, Dangerfield keeps acting like an a-hole. Really, there's a boat scene. All of a sudden, we're now in the ocean somehow. And the judge gets this small little
Dinghy
sailing
and
boat.
Absolutely loves it. That's
Loves
at the
it.
yacht club.
But Rodney there ends up running it over with his big-ass yacht. Just being a dick. And this kind of spurs the judge later on in the club to try to get him kicked out.
Yeah.
As they're trying to get him kicked out, somehow they land on betting, $20,000 in golf?
Yeah.
For a golfing match. That turns into team play for $40,000.
Well, it starts out 10, and then 20, then 40, then 80.
And then
it's
80.
just double it.
It just keeps going as this tournament goes on. Anyways, once they decide, they're all ready to golf. Chevy meets with Danny one last time to basically give him a story about this kid who went to college and then got kicked out for night putting. And then said basically that he should have been a professional golfer.
Yeah.
Without saying it was him. Then we get to the golf match. Everybody keeps neck to neck. Dangerfield ends up falling behind because he's playing like shit. Fakes a broken arm injury, which the dentist comes over and agrees with.
He's a doctor. He's an actual doctor.
I thought he was a dentist.
He was an actual doctor.
Didn't he say when they were calling, it's probably just a cleaning? Which means like teeth.
No, because he was talking about some surgery operation that was going to be beforehand. That was at the beginning of the movie.
Okay. But, even the doctor with him agrees. This is where Danny has to step in. And Danny and Ty there end up becoming a team to have to beat the judge and this doctor, who kind of is not really in the movie, just kind of thrown in there. I mean, he is, but he's not a big part in any way.
Right.
Just for really this end. It gets to the point, it goes back to Carl. You see Carl's filling all the holes with the C4 of animals, getting ready to blow up the gopher. And of course, we get to the last hole. It's tied neck to neck. They end up doubling the bet right at the end for Danny's putt.
Right. Now, Danny gives up he pisses off the judge, which means that he's not going to get a scholarship. But Dangerfield says, hey, I'll make it worth your while if you win it for me.
Right.
So he's essentially going to pay for his college.
And he's already been handing money out like crazy to everybody. So it's easy to believe this guy would pay you pretty good for winning.
Right.
I mean, he's thrown money at everybody for anything. But we'll leave it there. We'll leave that. Carl does end up blowing up like the whole golf course. We'll give that away. I'm not going to let you know who wins the tournament. You can go watch out for yourself. See how it all ends. But then we get to the ending where everybody's running together. It kind of reminds me of Grease. They're all like, all the characters running together.
I got you,
and then, the movie ends. The groundhog never dies. We never get that scholarship. No one ever grows. No one learns a lesson. That was it, dude. It was...
Funny enough, there is a Caddyshack too.
About what? The gopher still?
I downloaded it, but I didn't watch it.
The gopher still? It has to be the fucking gopher still. So let's talk, now that we got done with this little summary, let's talk about the parts that kind of threw you for a loop, made you feel either awkward or different, or, just kind of...
First off, before we go into that, I want to talk about things that did not. Things that were really, really familiar to me.
Okay.
Now, mind you, I haven't seen this movie in a very long time, but I do frequent TikTok and, 9gag and everything like that, which is all the memes that are in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
There are so many memes.
So
I'm going to start
memes.
backward and work my way through. At the end, Rodney Dangerfield goes, "Hey, everybody, we're going to all get laid."
Yep.
Then almost at the end, the judge goes, "Well, we're waiting." Carl goes, "So I got that going for me," which is nice.
Yeah.
That's a meme too. And I think that's it. But there are a lot of memes in this movie that people take everywhere, so people must like it.
Oh, dude, people, they love it, man. People love it, and you can tell in our culture. It's just, if you're looking for a story, a good story, this is not the place. This is not the place for it. It is, the best way I could say it, it's a lot of punchlines, them making fun of people. It's kind of a lot of the jokes are always busting somebody's balls.
Yeah.
Or it's slapstick humor.
Right.
You got those two going for it. A lot of characters do a lot of funny shit in the background. So you do pay attention to who's walking around. There's a lot of extra acting from these guys.
The one dude in the background was just swinging this again
I'm
again,
just
trying to
missing.
hit this ball and chunking out dirt and everything.
Just swearing.
You're supposed to pay attention to the main character in the center of the screen, and you just can't help look behind him and go, "Oh shit, that guy's on his 18th hit."
That's like when Chevy and them showed up for the tournament at the end, and they showed up in that Rolls Royce.
Right.
And I'm not sure, but if you pay attention, he shuts the door on his hand.
Yeah.
Then in the background for a while, you just see him keep shaking his hand and dancing around. Yeah, just swearing about his hand. No, dude. Okay, so my first thing that I wrote is Ty there talks about when he's in college, Chevy Chase. He talks about when he's in college doing those, when he was night putting, he took the 15-year-old daughter out of the dean's.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, I took the dean's daughter out. She was 15. He was the last year in college." That's creepy, dude.
Yeah.
It's fucking creepy. Then there was a part where the judge walks in on them having sex, and his niece is running around topless for a while, and he just acts like he doesn't like it's just normal that she's topless, like he doesn't cover her up or nothing. That's fucking weird.
She's not a kid though.
No, you're right. But it doesn't say any of them are 18.
Yeah.
Doesn't say any of them are above age, and they are still in high school. That's why they're trying to get money for their college.
Well, not that one.
There's like I said, the random topless scene, just kind of in the pool. I was like, what the fuck's that? There's just some girl topless now. I was like, okay. They just shoved that in there, like tits. There was a weird part, too, that kind of threw me for a loop when, after he gets caught having sex, he runs into the bathroom. And she kind of looks, the judge's wife, they're real old, basically gives him a look and looks down at his dick and goes, "Yeah, let's do this." And he's like, "No, let's get out of here." Fucking weird. The girl that he gets pregnant says the baby might not be his because she's also sleeping around. And he just goes, "I'll marry you anyways." Never brings it back up. Never asks, "Well, who else are you fucking?" Not even a story.
That Italian kid who's...
Oh, for sure. For sure. It's the smoker kid. For sure. Yeah, I think there's a couple other weird moments. There's a part where even the Scottish dude, with the lawn, it's like, come on, really? Like, what's that? There's a part where the kids, when they were smoking pot, they said they bought it from a Negro. I was like, what the hell?
When the judge throws the club and he throws it in anger and lands it up at the patio and knocks some lady out.
Yeah.
And was just like, oh yeah, I'll pay for it.
Yeah. Well, not even her injuries or anything. I'll pay for your dinner and this umbrella.
Yeah, the table.
Fuck your wife. There's another part where the judge chokes Rodney Dangerfield. And Rodney says, did you see this? He thought I was his wife. Which I was like, wow. Wow. So this overall, it did not age the best.
This scene that you said really doesn't make sense about when Ty goes to Carl's house, office, whatever it is. And Carl has like his own little green. And he goes, oh yeah, you can stand on it for like 8 to 10 hours or whatever. And then go back home and smoke it. And then he hands him a big bag of weed, and then he's like, "No, I don't."
That grass.
Yeah,
it's not even
that grass.
It's not even weed. It's like 4 different grasses mixed together.
Yeah,
and he like just smokes it.
Kentucky Blue mixed with weed or whatever, like actual. And he goes, "Here you go. You can have some." And he goes, "Oh no, I don't do that, or I don't do it very often." He goes, "Here, smoke it. I gave you a big long J."
He's like, "Look, I got one of these big J's." And like Bill Murray's character the whole time talks like well, I don't know if anyone's going to get this because Office Space itself is out there, but there's a character in Office Space.
He has an impediment.
That like anybody who knows the guy who owns a red stapler, I forget the character's name in Office Space, but he talks just like that guy. That's my red stapler. That's my stapler. That's my stapler. I'm going to set this whole thing on fire. It's just the way he, honestly, Bill Murray, I would have to say is probably the funniest person in all this.
Yeah.
A lot of his scenes are always funny. They're out of nowhere and they don't belong, but they're funny. So at least there's that. They pick you up when it gets boring.
Right.
Let's go into what were you getting to with that? Just the fact that it was crazy that he made him smoke all that bottle. Yeah. Because it was funny. He would make him smoke, then he keeps forcing him this bottle, and they keep switching back and forth. But you're right. So in that scene, you find out that Carl basically lives in a shack on the golf course, like in a garage, where you would park like a golf cart. And him and Carl and Ty, dude, they're in there for a straight, 15 minutes, it feels like.
Right.
And it's just awkward. It gets way too long. Like, they just hang on to that scene way too... You could tell they're just trying to fill time with that scene. Right. It's like, Jesus. It was getting to the point, I was like, Jesus, are they going to switch yet? But let's go into our favorite scenes. What are your favorite parts about the movie?
My favorite scenes actually are, multiple scenes that aren't all together. Is Rodney Dangerfield's golf bag.
Oh, you really like that?
Dude, I love it just from, a fun sciencey thing. He has a radio in it.
Yep.
He has a TV in it.
Yeah.
He has his clubs, obviously, still. It finds enough place for those. He has a keg in it.
Yeah.
He has a telescoping putter.
Yeah.
He has a phone.
Built by who?
Albert Einstein.
Albert Einstein, yep.
He has a phone in it that he takes calls from that people use. And he has an ejector for his clubs.
Yep. He just presses a button and shoots out
It's so cool. I love that thing.
Yeah, there's a part with him that was really random where he pulls out the radio, cranks it up, he says, "Let's dance." And then somehow his whole group is just fucking dancing for no reason.
Right.
Like in a way that no one would fucking dance if someone just cranked the radio and said, "Let's dance."
Going back, one of my least favorite parts, and I wanted to mention this at the very beginning, is the music. The music itself is not bad, but the volume of it is horrible.
I think, the beginning wasn't bad. The intro music, I like that. I like the way they did that.
That's fun.
But other than that, you're right. Because a lot of the music, they're playing off a radio while the scene's going on.
But, it'll...
it's not background music added in. It's like a radio that they just have while they're filming and playing.
Well, Al, Rodney Dangerfield's guy, like he is always constantly listening to music.
Yeah.
There's a reason that radio is in his bag. So a lot of the scenes that have music in them are because of him. He is cranking the music.
Yeah.
But then due to the way the movie works, you're viewing at his viewpoint, and then you're at like the judge's viewpoint or Ty's viewpoint or so on, and you have really, really, really loud music, and then you have kind of soft music in the background, and then you have really, really, really loud music. Right. And then you have kind of soft, and then they throw you for another loop and have a point where nothing is playing in the music, and then it's back to the little soft music, and then it's back to all the fucking loud music, and you're like, stop blowing out my ears.
Also, it's very hard to tell the difference in some of these characters, dude. A lot of these characters to me looked alike.
The niece you thought was two different characters for half the movie.
Dude, I swear to I still think she is. There's no way that niece sleeps with Ty, then turns around and sleeps with Danny, then turns around and
flirts with Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah. It's like, well, I don't think that's the same girl he brought in.
Yeah.
No, because like if it was, the judge would have flipped even bigger shit, but he didn't. So I think there's just another blonde girl. Because I don't even know if she's the same girl who was at the pool.
I don't know.
But talking about that was my favorite scene.
The baby Ruth?
The baby Ruth in the pool. And they filmed it like Jaws. It's just floating in the fucking water. And the best part was they didn't fuck with the candy bar at all. They just let it sit in the water and let the water do it. So like the whole time they're filming it, you can see it look more and more like a turd. You know?
And then Carl eats it. Yeah. At the end when he's draining out the pool.
He just tells him it's all right, then he eats it. Doesn't tell him it's a candy bar.
Does not notify that it's a candy bar. People just think he's eating shit.
Right, because after someone throws a candy bar in the pool, a bunch of kids see it. They all go running. You know, after that, they disinfect the pool, and that's when he's at the bottom eating it. After it's been in the chlorine all day. Just soaking.
Right.
Fucking gross motherfucker. I like that scene a lot. The pot smoking scene threw me for a hell of a loop. I don't know how I feel about that, because it was funny. But distasteful. Yeah, I don't know, man. Rodney has a lot of good one-liners. You know, I don't know if there's one part that I really like of his per se, but there's a lot of shit that he says just kind of walking through. That's hysterical.
Yeah. One of my other favorite lines was when Carl goes to grab his gun to shoot the thing. He goes, "I smell Varmin Poontang." And the only good Varmin Poontang is dead Varmin Poontang. But now, Carl, it's my favorite part.
Okay.
Budget and Rotten Tomato score. I'll do Rotten Tomato score first.
Rotten Tomato score. Well,
you already know that it's a 72 on IMDb.
Yeah, but that doesn't always transfer here. And we're going from the critics or the fans? Fans, right?
Fans.
So
critics.
I'm putting it up there in the high 80s, dude.
Ooh.
High 80s, because I feel like a lot of people love this fucking movie.
You are correct. For the first time, and I think Takeout history, 87% audience score.
Nice. The money it made, damn. This is going to be hard.
Oh, you're jumping ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. The budget. What do you think the budget was?
The budget was probably, I'm going to say, $7 million.
Wow. Pretty damn close. Actually, it doesn't have a specificness to it because I guess things were so random in the production. 4.826 million. So you are very, very close.
Damn. Okay.
Did you research this before?
No. We're just doing this enough. I'm getting a sense.
And do you think it made money or lost money?
I feel like it made money.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, way before our time, I have no idea.
Right, what kind of reception it got?
Right, or even how much they advertised. You know, I have no clue. But I feel because it's such a cult classic and everyone talks about it in such a good way, and dude, like any old head, even the oldest guy you can think of in their 80s have seen this somehow.
Right.
So I'm saying it made money.
How much money?
I'm going to say it made probably about $20 million.
20 million. You're a little on the low end. I can't give you 3 out of 3.
Okay.
60 million.
Dang, 60.
60
That's
million.
a lot more than I thought anyone
That's
would pay in the 80s.
That's a lot of money.
Dude, that's a lot. That's a lot of money for a comedy.
Right.
A comedy it's about a gopher. It's how they sell it. And it's really not about a gopher.
Right. I remember seeing a trailer for it, and the gopher was like 90% of that trailer.
Yeah. Yeah, which and the gopher is just a stuffed animal, which is hilarious. I don't know why, but them using that stuffed gopher, funny as fuck. I mean, at the end, how do you feel about this movie?
I'm somewhere in between. Again, and I explained this at the beginning, I don't like older movies, even for the plot. If I had to rank it out of 100, probably a 60. I mean, it's a good movie, but so many things take away from it, in my opinion.
Yeah, the middle section that drags. Like, It really fucking drags.
Yeah.
We even checked how long the movie had at one point. I mean, that's how bad it drags.
Were you feeling it when I did?
Yeah, you did. And I was like, we're halfway through. That's it? Jesus, like, this better pick up.
Right.
Because it starts out hot and it starts out funny, and then it just hits this dead period. And even a comedy, because there's nothing to relate it to. It's just shtick. They're doing a bunch of shtick. But because it's not related to anything or pushing the story along, you don't give a fuck.
Right.
You just don't give a fuck. My feelings of this after watching it all done. Cult classics are never as good as what people say. Ever. Anytime I watch a cult classic or whatever, some of them they might even be great movies, but they're never like how people build them up.
I don't know if it's just because that we had, this has been out for so long and it's referenced in so much media and fuck, even the memes and things. Like, you can kind of guess where the movie's going.
Yeah, it's not hard to guess. How many times did I guess the funny parts before they even happened?
Right, like the one dude, the old guy who was out golfing in the middle of the rainstorm playing the greatest game of his life. CJ looks in like his third putt or whatever and goes, yeah, that guy's going to get struck by lightning.
No, as soon as I saw lightning and them still thinking about golfing, I was like, he's going to get struck.
Yeah.
It's easy to read. Funny. It's a funny scene. You pick, even though you can see that one coming. That's a funny scene when they're like walking through the storm and shit's blowing everywhere.
But fucking Carl sees him get struck by lightning and does nothing about it. He leaves the body there
and slowly walks away.
He
drops the bag
club and walks away,
which is funny because like we said, he's a groundskeeper. So some guy came and got him thinking he was a caddy. He lied about being a caddy and just said, okay. And he kept calling the guy His Majesty. And then as he dies, he just leaves everything and slowly walks away like he's never fucking there. Just leaves the man to fucking die. The way I see this is, do you have to watch it? Is it a movie I'm going to sit here and tell everyone they have to watch? No. I really don't. I think you can get the sense of the movie through any of the movies me and you like. I thought we were really going to enjoy this off of the other dumb movies we love together. Because a lot of those have zero plot. Just dumb shit. Like, dude, where's my car?
There's a plot.
He's trying to find
at the very beginning. Yeah.
You're right. And you know what? Even thinking about that, I feel like that doesn't have as much dead space as this. But I thought before seeing this, like, hey, it's going to be on the same playing field. We'll probably like this.
I wonder if they redid the movie in today's standards with new comedy and, new effects and things like that. I wonder how it would do. I wonder if it would be a better movie.
I think it could be. I think what really hurt it was the thrown in parts. Like, because what that tells me is you take away Bill Murray in the Gopher. Think about how long and drawn out that movie would have really been.
God.
Without anything, because like the Gopher would come in and push its story along, so you felt like you were still going in somewhere with the dead space. Now imagine without that.
I wonder what that means for the ending. I wonder if there's a cut that didn't have the Bill Murray and the Gopher stuff.
It had to. Unless, well, I don't want to say too much without giving it away. But there could be an alternate ending. We'll talk about it after this. But my ending thoughts about this movie is you want a little bit of laughs without having to pay attention to something. Perfect movie. If you want a great story and actually get immersed into something, this is not the movie. This is purely the put on. You can do shit while it's going on. You can read the fucking plot so easily, you know.
My recommendation here, and for what it's worth, is watch it so you can understand what everybody else is talking about. Now, that came from a guy who wore American Eagle because he thought it was cool.
Well, that's true, but I mean, when everyone's using references and having little inside jokes about something,
right?
You at least got to look that up.
Right.
I mean, I never liked half the TV shows anyone liked. But when they started quoting certain things and it was a big thing at work, I would at least go watch it so I'd get the joke.
Right.
Because it sucks not getting a joke.
Except for me in South Park with you.
You just don't. No one at work does
I
either.
try to watch the first season and it sucks and I can't force myself to go any further.
The what season?
The first.
You think the first season sucks?
Yes.
No, dude.
It's so bad.
Dude, it's hilarious. It's literally us. You understand that. It's them making a show, making fun of everyone in the crudest way they can.
It's paper cutouts telling dick and ball jokes.
That's what's funny about it. That's the point. The point is it's crudely made.
It's 30 half-hour episodes of dick and ball jokes from paper.
There's more. No, there's more than dick and ball jokes. There's a lot of good references in there. But it's okay. You don't like good shows. You probably also don't watch Always Sunny.
I do watch that.
Okay. All right. We're way off topic, but my favorite Always Sunny moment is where, I don't know how much you've seen, but it's a trash knife. You remember the trash knife? It's the knife that they use to cut their toenails. Funniest episode, dude. Funniest episode. Danny DeVito lives with Charlie.
Yeah.
They find out, like, the gang finally goes to their house. It's a pigsty. They're, like, living in just trash.
Right.
Right? They're like, how do you guys even live in there? I get it. But, dude, knife, right? They're like, what's this knife? And he's like, oh, I use it to cut my toenails. And then they're like, oh, that's gross. And he starts to go to cut his toenail with it. And he's like, oh, I botched it. And they're like, go plug it up in garbage. Plug it up in Oh, man.
Speaking of plugging up with garbage, we're on Anchor, TikTok.
You wanted to hurry it up and fucking finish it.
Anchor, Apple.
I like how you overstepped me.
Spotify.
Usually I ask you if you're ready.
Yeah, but you gave me the perfect thing.
No, I didn't. It's not like I planned it or something.
We're on Anchor, Apple, Spotify, and now Google Podcasts at the Lunch Table PBJ. That's probably how you're listening to us right now, so go ahead and doing that. Also, you may be watching us on YouTube.
Yes.
We're on YouTube at the Lunch Table PBJ. If that's how you're doing that, that's your own personal preference. We prefer it either way. Either way shows us that you care, that you're listening, that you're viewing. I wish I was prettier.
Yeah, I wish you were prettier too.
Ditto.
But I love your sport bra.
Thank you. We're on Facebook at the Lunch Table PBJ, as well as our fan page, The Munchies. That's where you can stay tuned on pretty much anything we're doing and any of the episodes that come up. And we do post there, so you can always stay notified when something does go up.
Yeah, don't mind the guy who keeps posting about the inflatables.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, he shows up. I'm going to kick him out. He shows up, you know?
We're on Twitter at Lunch Table PBJ. That's where we do some of the polls, and you can also stay updated on there, too. Yeah. We're on TikTok and Instagram at the Lunch Table PBJ. CJ takes care of those. He does a wonderful job on there. He takes some wonderful photos and some wonderful videos.
Oh, thanks.
And about 20% of the time incorporates me.
Actually, if you go onto our Instagram right now, I'm pretty sure there's more pictures of you up there than me.
Yeah. Well, I took over there for a little while.
Oh, more than that. Even the last one I uploaded was of you, and only you.
I'm getting prettier.
I was gonna say half our reels on there are you.
That's because you're the cameraman.
Yeah,
We need somebody.
Someone's got to
Good thing
run
you
it.
got that extra wide lens. And lastly, we're on Patreon at the Lunch Table PBJ. If you want to be the person that helps fund the extra wide lens so we can get CJ in.
For the whole circle view,
Yeah.
panoramic view.
We are having a special going up here real soon.
Yeah.
We mentioned it last week to where we're going to have a $5 for this month specifically.
Yes.
Where we are going to tell you guys one of our deepest, darkest stories.
Yeah.
One from each of us.
Yeah. Some horrible yet funny, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
they're funny for other people. You guys will find them funny. We find them traumatic.
I don't even know if mine's really that funny.
Therapists will love them.
Oh yeah. I don't know if anyone has diagnosed me yet. Like, this kid's a pathological liar. Well, is that all our plugging?
That's all it, buddy.
Oh damn! So once again, another wonderful review by us.
Yay!
Yay! As always, yay! As always, stay tuned. If you have any suggestions of movies or anything you want us to watch, go ahead, suggest it. You know, if it's great enough, we'll start doing it that way. I don't even mind if the fans pick.
Right.
I'll still use the D100, you know, because we bought it and we wanted to use it. But, you know, any suggestions, go ahead, hit us up. Drew gave you plenty of ways to hit us up. There's no reason why you can't get in contact with us if you need to. Some people do, some people enjoy it, some don't. We understand. Do what makes you feel comfortable, but always keep your pants on.
Always keep listening.
There you go. Always keep listening.
Yeah.
You can take your pants off if no one else is there and you're just listening, but if there's people, keep your pants on.
If your pants are on, listen. If your pants are off, listen still.
Right, but hands up. No? Okay, do whatever you want with our voices. And our image. But as always, Drew, thanks for stopping, man. Thanks for doing this with me. It's always fun to have my co-host here. I said it. And as always, thanks for stopping, people. It's getting a lot more fun around here.
I'm a co-host.
Yippee.